Roger, Roger.
Welcome, everybody, to the Infernal Brotherhood of Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders weekly Star Wars Clone Wars review. This is Season 1,
What?
Episode 9, Cloak of Darkness.
Scary darkness.
Yeah,
I like the woo.
dark. I really feel like I need to get a theremin and set it up for like
Oh, that would
background.
be so awesome.
Yeah,
I would
it would
love
be
that.
sweet.
That would be badass.
I always wanted a theremin.
You know what I want? I just want like the Victorian welcome room where people come in, like a parlor where you would imagine there. You may even have like a séance in that type of a space from back in like the Victorian era where they were stupid and they thought that shit was real. Like I love that stuff, like desperately love it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, when you set up one of those at your place, I will totally come play the theremin for background music.
Fuck yes. Done and done. All right, but today we're going to be talking about Star Wars. We're going to be talking about the Clone Wars, and I am going to start this with a preface and just letting you guys know I really love this episode. Like, I really love this episode.
That's a good fucking episode.
So we're going to get into it. But first and foremost, let me switch over to the... I spent all this time downloading all these photos. I want to make sure you guys see them. So it's going to cycle through all the episodic photos on StarWars.com or from, and, while we're talking. So we're going to get into it. This is a straight up pickup from the last episode where Jar Jar helps inadvertently capture. Really, I mean, I don't know if he really does, but Padme.
Can we really say that he helped?
I don't know. He was there anyway. He was present.
He kept some of the droids busy.
He did. He really did. He was present for. Hold on, you know what I forgot about? I forgot about the live chat. Hi, Shauna.
Hi, Shauna.
Totally forgot. Okay, so they're transporting Newt Gunray from Nemoidia. Was it Nemoidia? The Rodian home. Okay.
Yes.
I think so. Anyway, no, from Rhodia. It was Rhodia.
Rhodia, whatever.
From Rhodia. And
Jesus.
I don't know what... Hey, William, how's it doing, man? I don't know when the handoff officially was from Padme to Ahsoka and Luminara Unduli, but I'm super glad that handoff was made.
I was right at the end of the episode. Like
was it really?
That's who came in and saved their asses.
I knew that. I was just seeing if you knew.
Yeah, I know. You're just making sure that I didn't sleep through half this episode.
Yeah.
Which I didn't.
Nope.
Or last episode.
God damn it. All right. So Ahsoka and Luminara are escorting Newt Gunray as their prisoner to, I don't know, Coruscant maybe, for Coruscanti jail. I always imagine anytime someone's captured for jail, it's like an old western town that they lead them to, and it's like this stupid jail cell that they could easily escape from. I don't know why.
That sounds about right.
Okay, well, that's exactly what happens, so we're going to continue with that. And simultaneously, of course, Darth Sidious is alerted to the fact that Newt Gunray, the separatist leader, is captured, and so he must find some way of liberating him so that he can further his designs. And this means reaching out to Count Dooku and his assassin, Asajj Ventress, in order to rescue said Gunray, said Newt, from the Republic's clutches. And quite frankly, you and I have had this back and forth for a while, since The Last Jedi, and maybe even since The Force Awakens, where there has been this sort of divide in the fan base, complaining about the feminine component being force-fed down our collective Star Wars throats. But
I don't see that, though.
See, and I don't either. That's what I'm saying, is that we've had this conversation and we've heard the complaints, but episodes like this prove the point that this has been something that has been here from the beginning, where you have insanely strong female characters that stand on their own without assistance of supportive characters, and they play amazing roles in both the heroic and the villainous side of the story. And this episode is the straight up personification of it. It is so
absolutely.
good. It is so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Asajj is tasked with liberating Newt Gunray from this transport into Coruscant space, and ostensibly Jedi Master Luminara and Padawan Tano are supposed to protect him. Simultaneously, there's a sort of B storyline that I don't know how B it is, but it is tied to the A storyline, where you have the Coruscanti Special Guard, Captain Argius?
That sounds about right. I forgot to write that
it's
down.
It's Roman. What do you want?
Yeah.
And then Clone Commander Gree. And you have what is a bred clone loyalist and a human traitor who is turned from Promise of Fortune from Count Dooku as a sort of inside guy, an inside man.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best possible setup that you can have. You have not only two military men facing off against each other, but you have 3 force-wielding females who are all masters of their craft. And can I just say quickly, before we really kind of get into our opinions, this is the first time in this series rewatch that I've actually enjoyed watching Ahsoka.
Yeah. She definitely starts to come into her own. Like, you realize that she's not just an annoyance to say really shitty lines.
I think it's the presence of Anakin. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you put someone of significant weight like Anakin Skywalker on screen with anyone, even... I don't even think Obi-Wan Kenobi can live up to his full prowess in the presence of Anakin. He always has to play this sort of joking sub-dominant role. Like, oh, you saved us from the bad Gundarks, but that didn't really count. Like, there's always something, like some self-deprecating something that he plays when Anakin's on screen. I think it's Anakin's fault, because as soon as you get Ahsoka Tano away from Anakin Skywalker, you actually get to see her as an individual and not as someone trying to play up to like the greatest of all greatest Jedi. Like, she's just like, oh no, I just want to do what I think is right. And this episode really, really delivers. So that's the setup. Asajj is trying to rescue Newt Gunray with the help of a spy insider that's being paid off. Mayhem ensues, and ultimately, she's successful. Like, and she had to be. Like, otherwise, she's failed in so many tasks so far, and it's only episode 9 of the first season. And if she didn't succeed in this task, I think Count Dooku would have just cut her in half.
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, that's kind of what Sidious was insinuating.
Yeah. You have to succeed, apprentice. I did find one line that I want to call out, if we can. When Ahsoka Tano was referring to Asajj Ventress, I hadn't seen it for no reason. She mentioned her as like a harpy witch or something like that. No, it was a swamp witch or something, right?
A bog hag.
Bog hag,
something
that's
else
it.
Too. She's just fucking funny.
How does she know about the witches of Dathomir? Like, that's a direct reference to the swamp-dwelling Dathomir witches.
Maybe she's a nerd and really studied in school.
Fucking nerds.
That's the only thing I could think.
Goddamn nerd. I just love that it was a call out that unless you knew about the story arc that would later play seasons to come, you would never know that Asajj Ventress was one of the witches of Dathomir. And so that reference makes no sense at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like a season or 2 seasons or 4 seasons. I'm talking like 7 seasons from now.
Yeah, it is pretty much the final season when the whole Dathomir shit happens.
Yeah, and she just calls her out, and like, I never picked up on it. I had no idea, but whatever. Super awesome. So what did you think? I mean, what was, some of your favorite parts about this?
Just honestly, like the lightsaber battling. Up until this point, it's been sort of just straightforward. We're gonna slice up some robots, and then the robots are dead. And this, we actually, see a Jedi Master go up against a Sith, and then it's just so badass. I mean, okay, so I know I was bitching about going after droids and shit, but when we first see Luminara taking out those super droid the super droids, god damn it, that was so awesome.
Yeah. I couldn't help but smile from ear to ear. like throughout this entire episode, because it has everything that I love so desperately about what makes Star Wars great. It has space battles when they first come in and put their landing crafts, which are essentially a tack that they just stick inside the fucking Star Destroyer.
Well, if you notice, they kind of twist like right before they get in, so they kind of screw themselves in too.
It's awesome.
So that was pretty genius.
So cool. I love that. And then it has this sort of espionage spy thing that I really, really dig when Star Wars does it well. It doesn't always do it well, but I love it when it does. And Asajj in this is like the pinnacle of what should be done. She is silent. She is sneaky. There's no reason to show those scenes of her flipping around the droid, making the droid do a 360, but it's fun. That's what makes Star Wars Star Wars.
I mean, it kind of pays off in the end because she destroys like their pretty much everything.
Yeah.
While she's fucking with the droid.
But that's what I'm saying is it's the setup. Like they didn't need those scenes. That's was a sort of Obi-Wan first Death Star scene that it wasn't necessary. You could have just jumped to her kicking ass. But they added it in as a sort of out as soon as she knew that this Captain Argaius had picked up Newt Gunray safely. That, okay, that's my cue. She never wanted to sit there and murder the two Jedi. That was a bonus on the game. And she was disciplined enough to know that as soon as I'm told that what needs to happen has happened, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's something that I don't think any of the Jedi that we've been shown so far have the discipline to know, other than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Everyone else would have been like, if it's sort of the roles of the Jedi and Sith were reversed, they would have stayed and tried to murder them. They would not have just fled.
Oh, yeah.
And to see Ventress go toes with another Jedi Master, like we've already seen in the film where she goes toes with Obi-Wan Kenobi and loses. Like, that's expected. But, like, any Jedi Master, if you care about Star Wars or anything about like that, you know that they are of substance. Like, they are powerful. And to see her environmentally best Luminara, that
was fucking intense.
It just puts a weight to it. And it's a great battle, too. Like, it's a lot of give and take. And it's like the secret sauce, the special sauce that Collider Jedi Council is always talking about with the, Star Wars. We get to see the Force. We get to see lightsaber duels. And we get to see great female characters on either side of the spectrum doing what they do best.
See, it's always so funny, like, anytime the whole female element's brought up, like, growing up watching this shit, like, it never dawned on me. I mean, it's just a thing. I mean, from the very beginning, like, as they're getting ready to go in the trash compactor, getting out of the detention cell, who is it that fucking saves their asses? Leia. I mean, it's not a thing. And my wife's sitting here watching it, or she was watching it with me earlier, and she's like, "Oh, so does this really, bring home the female empowerment?" I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I never really thought of it. That's Star Wars.
Yeah, that's what Star Wars is.
The guys are dumb, the girls are smart, and they kick everybody's ass. It's the way it's always been.
It's just great. Well, what I love so much about it is it sets it up as a sort of, I didn't even think about this until now, but it's coming here. Strap in, people. So,
ooh, shit.
Luke Skywalker is looking upon every single female in the same way that every young male looks upon females. They're either a maternal figure where it's, I'm going to listen to you and I'm going to look up to you, or it's a sort of crush where he's going to desire her, but he's too timid and afraid because he doesn't know what to do. He's just inexperienced. That's everyone watching Star Wars and how they're experiencing Luke Skywalker and how they're experiencing the women in this world. They're either this Mon Mothma maternal force, or in this particular episode, Master Luminara, where she's just this mother figure, or it's I'm going to go on a limb here for some people here, Asajj Ventress, where she is this sort of forbidden fruit, a little bit seductive, a little bit dangerous, but super attractive, and just draws you in, and you want to do so. You want to come onto her. You want to have her like you for your coolness or whatever you think she would think is cool. But you're too inexperienced to know what to do. Like, this is Star Wars 101. It's guys coming into their own through this sort of pubescent era, and it's women being already who they are. Like, that's what Star Wars is. And that's what I love so much about it, because it's always this growth arc that humanity hasn't ever fully addressed unless you go back to like Greek epic poems, or, you know, like the hero's journey type stories that, you know, I grew up in an era where men were, this is way deviating here.
No, I like where this is going. Let's keep
men told women what to do. If they didn't like it, they were in their full right to bitch slap them. There's full comedic films filled with men bitch slapping women who were being overly sensitive or emotional. And that's not the reality that I lived. And so when I saw Star Wars that spoke to the reality that I actually lived, it meant something. And to see people bitch about that now makes no sense to me at all.
No.
Weird. All right, what are we talking about? Star Wars?
Yes, Star Wars.
I feel like we just took a fucking, I don't know, a train to Pussy Town. I would like to go, please.
Tickets, please.
Yeah, seriously. Side note, I let my wife know that any type of strawberry in like a shake or like an ice cream or something where the strawberry is like sort of soft and textured, it reminds me of the, like, when you first slide your finger into a vagina and you have that little like spongy texture right there. It's like a gland that helps females come. I can't remember the name right now, but that is strawberries. Right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I fucking love where this episode is going.
Like, that's it. Like, for all of you guys out there, that's what it is. So finger someone and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Sorry, I don't know why.
You know what? Let's just end this episode right there. I don't think we have anything of substance after this.
All right. Any worst elements of the show you want to talk about this episode?
No. Even Ahsoka really wasn't too awful this time. No, like, I was kind of grasping at straws to get a really shitty quote for the end of the show.
Oh, can I quickly add on the good cop, bad cop? I really like that. Yeah.
And then, no, it's cool. He just needs fear.
Yeah.
Well, Jedi doesn't do anything with fear, blah, blah, blah.
Gosh, I love that so much. And then at the very end, when she was like, you know what? Jedi Master Skywalker is very, or not Jedi Master, but Skywalker is lucky to have you, basically, is what she says.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh, God damn it. That's so good. We finally get this moment of not only Ahsoka being validated for her behavior and experience, which is nice, even though she's been annoying up till now.
Yeah.
But also, there's this mythology of a Skywalker, of Anakin Skywalker, and to acknowledge that you as a Padawan, through the eyes of a Jedi Master, are worthy of this fabled potential savior of all Jedi and humanity. That's huge.
Yeah, that's some heavy shit.
I mean, I thought it was so brilliant. That's what I loved about this. It was first of all, everyone watched this episode. It was great. The whole time, loved it. Everything about it. I love it so much. And I'm super excited for the next one.
Yeah.
Did you see the teaser?
It's fucking Grievous, man.
Oh, dude, the lair of Grievous.
Yeah, I definitely remember this shit.
Dude, Clone Wars is kicking in. This is when we start to get some good shit. So buckle in, people. It's going to get weird with our fucking remarks. Well, I've had a lot of fun with this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Any closing thoughts?
Nope.
All right, people. Next week, we're going to do another episode, but we also have our HoloNet News live full episode, and that's going to be Sunday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So tune into that. And if you don't,
there be some sort of quadrilateral fucking shape.
Oh shit!
Forgot words.
I heard something about a quadrilateral.
No, it was quadrilateral. Adam,
okay.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
Don't do this to me right now. We're so good through this entire episode. Now you're doing this shit.
It's true. It's going to be amazing. Tune in. Thank you guys so much. Let us know what you thought about the episode. And until we can see each other again, that sounds good, William. Anytime you can tune in. It's good to see you, man. May the Force be with you.
Protecting a Jedi Master is the role of a Padawan.
Side note, I figured out why I'm going to take the one side.
Oh, you are breaking up.
Princess Ming. Princess Ming.